Work schedule anyway.
Thank you, John. So welcome everybody, and I declare the Audit Committee meeting for the 23rd of January open. Disclaimer, members of the public are advised that recommendations to Council contained within this agenda can be subject to changes. Applicants and other interested parties should refrain from taking any action until written advice is received confirming Council's decision with respect to any particular issue. Acknowledgement of country. The Shire of Harvey acknowledges the traditional custodians of the land and their continuing connection to the land, waters and community. We pay our respects to all members of the Aboriginal communities and their cultures, and to elders past, present and emerging. Records of apology and leave of absence. I have two apologies, Councillor Hitchcock and Councillor Crispin. Declarations of members and officers' personal interest. Councillors or staff, do we have any declarations? None? Thank you. Public question time is nil. Petitions, deputations, presentations and submissions is nil. Confirmation of minutes. Councillors, we have the minutes from the Audit Committee meeting held on Tuesday the 21st of November. There's a recommendation there that the minutes of the Audit Committee meeting held on Tuesday the 21st of November 2023 as attached be confirmed as a true and correct record. Do I have a mover for that? Councillor Holly, seconder. Councillor Dickinson, all those in favour? Carried. Thank you. Okay, officers' reports, item 8.1, which is the annual report for 2022-2023. Councillors, do we have any questions in relation to this report? Councillor Bromham?
I just wondered, when I looked through the report, there's quite a few things on hold or we're not progressing with at this particular moment, and I noticed there was some money set aside against those things. Is there an opportunity to move that money initially across to something else to help the budget?
Councillor Bromham, this is the annual report for last financial year. I think you might be making reference to the quarterly report, which is in the council agenda.
My apologies.
Okay, so if there's no questions, we have a recommendation in front of us that Council 1 endorses the Shire of Harvey annual report for 2022-2023 for the financial year commencing the 1st of July 2022 and concluding 30th of June 2023 as presented in attachment 1. And 2, that endorses the date of the Tuesday the 27th of February 2024 as the date for the general meeting of electors commencing at 2:30 p.m. in the council chamber at 102 Uduck Road, Harvey. So do I have a mover for that? Councillor Dickinson, a seconder.
Yeah.
Councillor Holly, any questions? Put it to the vote. Those in favour? You're right, Councillor Coleman.
I'll declare I haven't had a chance to fully read the Harvey annual report, so I'm sort of voting blind at the moment. I just hope all the councillors have all read it, other than me.
Okay then.
No, I haven't.
You haven't either? Yeah.
I've read some of it, but not all of it.
Well, councillors, we should have had an opportunity. You've had an opportunity to read it, and it's declaring that now. So we've had a vote, and it's been carried. Absolute majority. So 5-0. Okay. We'll move on to item 8.2, which is the Audit Regulation 17 Quarterly Report, Quarter 2, 2023 to 24. Councillors, are there any questions in regards to this one? No? Staff, are there any comments in regards to this? Councillor Bromham.
Yeah, I do have one question. I look at the risk assessment on the schedule here, and it says low, medium, high and extreme. And you've got risk is acceptable with excellent controls managed by executive leadership team, and that comes across exactly the same wording for risk is only acceptable with excellent controls and all treatments and plans implemented. But if it's still extreme...
Councillor Brom, I think you're referring to the attachment for the next report. This one is contained within, is it contained within the report? It's the Regulation 17. I think you're talking about the Strategic Risk Register report.
Oh, might be. Hang on a minute, just really something confused here. So we're on 8.2 at the moment, aren't we?
Correct.
8.2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why does this thing flash me across to something else? Never mind. All right.
No question then?
No.
Okay, then we have an officer's recommendation that council receives the Shire of Harvey Audit Regulation 17 quarterly report for quarter 2 2023 to 2024 as outlined in this report. Do I have a mover for that? I'm happy to move it. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Bromham. Put it to the vote if there's no further discussions. All those in favour? Carried. Thank you. Okay, this might be yours, Councillor Bromham. 8.3, Strategic Risk Register 2023-2024, quarterly report for quarter 2. You scroll down on that to the officer's recommendation, please. We have an officer's recommendation there. Councillors, are there any questions for this item? Councillor Bromham.
Yeah, just on that matrix, now there seems to be two very similar controls over them, and when you've got extreme, I'd like to know how we come to say that's acceptable. I mean, it's the only place I've ever seen extreme acceptable. Because what are we talking about? Just financial? Are we talking about legal? Are we talking about physical risk?
Through the chair, Councillor Bromham, could you just direct me to the page that you're referring to? I'm not quite sure.
Page 15.
Of the report or the attachment?
The attachment is on. It says quarter 2 summary, and you've got residual risk rating. I just don't understand how that works. To have an extreme rating, well, you're saying it's still acceptable with treatment plans implemented. What are treatment plans?
Sure. Councillor Bromham, I'm just looking at page 15 of that report, and I have only low risk on that page. So are you referring to one of the ones where it's got an extreme risk rating in place? Is that correct?
I'm referring to the residual risk rating schedule. This.
So I can attempt to answer the question, although I can't exactly see which page you're on. But in terms of the base rating, that's the base rating with the current strategies or operational mitigations in place. So nothing on top of that. The control rating tells us whether we are controlling that or not at the moment, whether we think that the risk acceptance level is okay or not. And then the residual risk rating tells us if after we've implemented the controls, whether we believe that the risk is still at that level or not. So quite often, if we've implemented adequate controls, we'll see that residual risk rating come down. However, what we're saying in this case is even when we have implemented the additional controls, the residual risk rating hasn't come down. So that would indicate to us that we would need to put in further controls to manage the risk. And at the moment, say in relation to the Brunswick pool, which was one of the extreme risk areas in the report. Whilst we're actively working on that, we've not actually been able to bring down the risk level in that space because none of the controls have been implemented yet.
Okay, I'll talk to you afterwards.
Are there any other questions, councillors? Okay, we have an officer's recommendation there that council receives the Strategic Risk Register 2023-2024 quarterly report, quarter 2, as attached as attachment 1. Do I have a mover for that, please? Councillor Dickinson, a seconder. Councillor Bromham, any further discussion? Put it to a vote. All those in favour? Those against? Councillor Coleman?
Sorry?
All those in favour? I'll put the vote again. All those in favour? Thank you. Against is nil. Carried 5-0. Thank you. Alrighty. Matters behind closed doors is nil. Therefore, I close the meeting. Thank you.